What's up guys, Hershey here. Welcome back to the final video in the Beginner's Guide to Tarkov series. In this video, we're going to be covering who you should sell to, in what order you should sell, and what items each person will buy. As you can see, I have a pretty expansive list of items right here that need to be sold. We're going to go ahead and go through this whole list and basically give you guys some tips and tricks to maximize your profit potential. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so now that we're on the trader screen, you can see you have Proper, Therapist, Fence, Skier, Peacekeeper, Mechanic, Ragman, and Jaeger. 90% of the time, you are only going to be selling items to Therapist, Mechanic, and Ragman. The order that you normally want to go in if you are selling items to these people is you're going to start with Therapist, you're going to go to Ragman, and then you're going to go to Mechanic. There's a few items you will sell to Peacekeeper, but it's few and far between. It's literally just info items. There's no need to sell anything to Proper. You can get most of your rep with him from ensuring items early wipe. Skier, you will need to do some selling with. Typically, this is what you can do. You can sell him some attachments and he might give you a little better deal than Mechanic will. And then Jaeger's almost identical to Therapist as far as what items he will buy. Jaeger is also the only person specifically that you want to sell any sort of melee weapon to, or any sort of long range rifle and shotgun. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and do Therapist, Ragman, Mechanic, and we'll go from there. So starting out with Therapist will buy any of your barter items. She'll buy any of your health items, any valuable loot, sustenance items, and keys. What Therapist won't buy, as you can see here, is that she won't buy clothing or armor item, weapons, and typically she won't buy ammunition. You can't see that here. You can see she can't buy a mag. So let's go ahead and get through this and see how much money we can make from what I've been able to build up. All right, as you can see, we've already gone through all the items that Therapist will buy from us. What you notice is pretty much everything that's left after Therapist is anything that has to do with armor, clothing items, or weapons. But down here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys real quick. I still have a few items that I haven't sold to Therapist. We can see that she'll buy this for 8,300 rubles. We'll go ahead and right click on it, filter by item. And currently, since it's pre-wipe, you can see that these items are actually selling for almost 40,000 on the flea market. There is a fee that's associated with selling on the flea market. So if you're not making a noticeable profit, you're better off just selling it to the vendor because it's not worth the time. If you pay for this fee and then your item doesn't sell, you're still out that money for the fee. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and list this. Now that we're done with Therapist, let's go ahead and move on to Ragman. So Ragman, the one thing I will say is make sure before you check with Ragman, if you do have any rigs, backpacks, or anything you are selling to Ragman, just make sure it's empty. Make sure you haven't left any items in it. Typically, it won't let you sell it to him if there is still items left. I think you can actually sell a backpack with items still in it. Ragman is going to buy all of our armor and clothing options. So you can see he's going to buy rigs, the one armor vest, the helmet we have here, and the condor glasses. He will also buy the fabrics. So even though we already sold these corderas on the flea market and everything else to Therapist, Ragman will buy fabrics, but you get a better price from Therapist. So let's sell these items off as well and keep on moving. All right, now we're all done with Ragman. Let's go ahead and move into Mechanic. So before we get started with Mechanic, there's a couple things I would suggest doing. This is because some guns might not have full durability and you won't be able to sell them to Mechanic, but you can still sell the parts. And the other reasoning is to make sure you don't have any high value ammo, but also to maximize profit. I'll give a quick example of this with this pistol magazine. Go ahead and unload that pistol mag. So if we go back into Mechanic, you can see pistol mag 17 out of 17 sells for 861 rubles. If we tab back to our inventory, unload this magazine, 17 shots of PST, and now we still also have the mag. Before it was only worth 861 rubles. Go ahead and go back into them. Now you can see that the magazine alone is worth 826 rubles, and then the ammunition is worth 590 rubles. So what we want to do with everything is you want to make sure any magazines that still have ammo in them, go ahead and just unload them, even if it's not very significant. And now that you've unloaded all the magazines, let's go ahead and right click on each one of the weapons and say disassemble. This basically strips the weapons down to their bare parts. And by doing this, if your weapon has low durability and does not allow you to sell it to Mechanic, you can sell every other piece of the weapon to Mechanic and then sell those low durability pieces to Fence, because he'll be the only person that will buy it. You would definitely get more rubles by doing this compared to not doing it at all. All right, let's go back into Mechanic and we're going to go and sell all of this off. All right, now that we've sold everything off to Mechanic, we're going to go ahead and see if we have anything left in our inventory. We're going to go ahead and scroll down, and you can see we actually have a couple items here. We have a couple diaries, an SSD drive, and a slim drive. So these are all considered info items. These are the only items. Are you going to sell these to Peacekeeper? Peacekeeper, he won't give you rubles for them. He's going to give you USD. But Peacekeeper will give you the best price for info items. So if you don't need them for an upgrade, a quest, a task, craft that you're doing in your hideout, go ahead and just sell these to Peacekeeper. The few exceptions for items, if you need to level other people up. Don't sell anything to Proper. You can get influence with Proper by insuring items, and it still counts towards his total spent. So if you need some experience with Skier, if you're already over your limit for mechanic, go ahead and start selling those items to Skier instead. And then Jaeger, the only things you should be selling to Jaeger is melee weapons, shotguns, and long range rifles. I will note that Jaeger will give you more money for a shotgun or a sniper rifle than mechanic will. And then the last free chicken I'm actually going to give you guys for the road, if you can manage it, it's not very intuitive, but if you can manage it, I would suggest leaving the top of your stash open and putting any items you have, anything you're keeping, at the bottom of the stash. Since there is a shortcut to just be able to control click to unequip things, it makes it very easy and very fast just to go ahead and control click your whole inventory to drop and just dump items that you know you're not going to use, that you just need to sort later, or you're going to sell. And specifically, if you're going to sell them, it's going to keep all of those items consolidated up here at the top, not mixed in with all of your items down here at the bottom. By default, if you have items up here at the top, it's going to find the first clear spot that it can fit the item into. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the Beginner's Guide to Tarkov series. I hope you guys enjoyed this so much. I hope that it helped you if you're just getting into Tarkov. If it did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and subscribe down below. That really helps me out. It allows you to see more content such as this as I upload it. Also, if you have any questions or there's any feedback you want to leave, any video ideas you want to see, or things you just want to know about Tarkov, make sure to comment down below and I'll read that and get to that as quickly as I can. That's going to be it for me, guys. And since there's nothing left to do, I'll see you guys in the next one.